Good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is for you. Um, I've had I started reading a new manga. I'd finished my other ones. Unfortunately, these recent ones that I have picked out to read do not have a ton of chapters because they're new. But one of them got me thinking. Um, it's starting to rain out and storm, so there's not a ton of light. I tend to not use my ceiling light as often as other people do just because it's a little too bright and I'd rather not have to struggle with changing a bulb that I can't reach. So I'm leaving it off. Um, so the one I was reading that really got me thinking is called um, The Antagonistic Goddess Attacks. And it's a really good story, don't get me wrong. Really good. Um, I'm finding a whole bunch of new ones to read. This one kind of had me thinking a bit because I thought it would be really cool. So let's say that you find out that you're going to die and you have what the doctor has estimated 3 months to live, maybe a year if you're lucky. And so you start trying to go do things that you've always wanted to do. You basically create a bucket list and try to get the stuff done within a certain time limit. Well, during your process of trying to finish your bucket list, um, trying to accomplish everything that you have written down, you get called into a system of sorts by a god, and he offers you a deal, he or she. Um, they offer you a deal that they'll cure your illness if you do something for them. So the way this one works out, the way this story has it set up is that our main character has only a month to live. The doctor told her she had 3 months. God was like, no, you only have one, but I have an offer for you. And she's our main character's a really um intimidating go get 'em type girl. Uh and very smart. Uh she can deal with people really easily, which makes her all the more intimidating. So she starts working with the system to become basically a revenge goddess. She helps the main characters get back their not really get back. She helps them regain peace so that they don't die thoughtlessly. They don't die having so much hatred in their hearts. Mainly because all that resentment creates demons that she would end up having to get rid of and causes a whole bunch of more problems. I'm not sure if that works with every single one of them, but they definitely don't want these people to die um, with hatred or resentment. The first case she takes on, her and the person's body that she took over don't really sync up in their thought process, which I really loved because most of these that do this kind of process have the main characters actually die and then they just throw another soul into the body and then your soul leaves and you can go do another task mission when that body's living time is up, lifespan is up. This one is different. She literally borrows their body to accomplish the goal that they want. And they hang around, basically, which I find really awesome. They stick with her and try to, like, this person's this person's that. Well, our first ghost is an idiot. I'm just going to say that now. Anyone who reads it will know what I mean. Um, it lasts for about 20 chapters, the first arc. I don't like that it took that long to get that done, but there was a lot to get done. Um, this whole thing got me thinking, though. What if, when we die, we go into a system sort of kind of like that, um, where we're villainous as main characters or whatever, and we have to accomplish certain goals and tasks, and you get cool rewards, or you can buy stuff from the shop to help you complete tasks and stuff like this. And then after you're finished with that arc of a story and you go back to your main space, depending on your rating, you get certain gifts that that person had. Um, to simplify this, she gets um, a double S on her rating, and she gets to basically learn, basically have one of the skills of the person she helped. Um, which I thought was really neat. I was thinking to myself, like, what if we went to these different worlds, different dimensions, um, stuff like that, all under a higher power, one higher power, which everyone calls by a different name and believes that the higher power is a he or the higher power is a she. Um, that we're sent to do these certain tasks, and then we get we get thrown into certain bodies depending on our skill levels as human beings. After we die, we're judged a certain way and get to carry on doing what we do best, basically. Um, her skill set made her made her basically untouchable, I guess is the best way to put it. Made her really difficult to deal with. So she was basically the bad guy, had to be, just to get these people to survive. But imagine that we die, we go into a system, we go into these people's bodies to help them accomplish a certain goal so that they don't die of resentment. Basically, trying to make the world a more peaceful place. Well, these worlds, dimensions, more peaceful than when we got there. Um, and after each one, depending on on our grading of getting certain tasks completed, we get to keep certain abilities. I was reading this and was sitting there thinking, well, the skill that she got is cool, but that's not the one I would have wanted. Just gonna say that now. Um, but it had me thinking that some people out there who know that they've lived a past life and have been reincarnated, uh, what if they gained skills from that life and brought them over to this one to hopefully help them live a better life? I it got me thinking, and I'm wondering why they don't do more stories like that, because it is really awesome. Um, Everyone does these isekais, reincarnations, and there have been several of these where they go into a system and they take over that body. They change. Um, and the person that they took over is actually dead. Their soul broke and they can't go back into their body. Their time was up. Um, whether they died early or not, you know. I've read too many of those. Um, this one I thought was much better because they die, but their soul still exists, waiting to get back into the body. And if they've died with resentment of any sort, they go to her and ask her for help, and she can either accept the task or deny the task. She accepts and completes the task with her skills and all that, and then they take back over their body and continue living their life till the end of their actual lifespan. Um, I thought that was really neat because most stories just don't do that. Um, Cheating men must die. She lives out the rest of that body's lifespan in that body. Um, Another one, what was it called? No, it wasn't that one. I'm trying to remember the names. I've read so many of these that it's actually pretty hard to do. I can't find it. Damn it. Anyway, another one. She lives out their lifespan, and I guess she has the option to shorten that certain lifespan. She could either die after she's completed the mission or live half of the lifespan and keep the rest of the years for herself to carry on to the next life if she needs it, or to complete the lifespan of that body. Um, and basically, if she keeps any of the years, it adds on to her original lifespan. So usually this main characters main these reincarnators and stuff like that come from a cultivation world. Um which I also thought was really cool. The whole being able to cultivate skills and stuff. I love stories like that more than anything. Um because it's not like magic and all these sorts of things. It's you don't just know the skill, you do have to practice as well. It's not just um knowing the chanting it, and then all of a sudden your body knows what to do. Um of course they never really show you any of that. There are very rare ones that actually show them practicing the skill that they've learned. One of my absolute favorites was Tales of Demons and Gods. He basically goes back in time. Our main character, Nali, basically goes back in time to relive his life. And they they don't they can learn fighting and swords and stuff like that, but they can't cultivate those skills, you know? They can't just sit there and meditate and gain that skill. Their cultivation basically goes to upping a spirit that they have in their body that they took control of, that they can transform into, and that spirit beast or whatever will then take over and do what it's do what it does. Um, whatever its skill set is. I liked the way that was done because you do get to see that all the fighting skills that Nali has to begin with was from his previous life. So his body already knows what to do, but he has to work on his physique, which means he starts working out with his friends, exercising, building up his muscles. That way his body can handle doing what it needs to do. Of course, there are times when he exceeds those limits and kind of hurts himself in the process, which I really love. because it shows that, hey, I didn't just gain these skills. I worked hard for them, which I absolutely love that. Um my throat is killing me. Got a gaping hole in the back of my tooth here. So I have to be extremely careful. Um so let's say that the first person that you help out is into medical practices. What skill would you want to learn? Um, what skill of theirs would you want? I couldn't think of anything that I would want except for being able to see. Um, the skill that this main character got was being able to read the pulse and diagnose and see their see what would instantly kill them. Spots on their body, life, whatever. I forget what they called it. Um, but she's able to see, I guess, their core. Um, what would instantly kill them and not give them a chance of survival. So she knows exactly where to hit, where to hurt them. That would kill them instantly. I'm just having a day today. That that particular skill I liked, but I wouldn't necessarily want it just because, just on principle. It just, I would, if I had to go with one, be it would be being able to diagnose and treat injuries, not necessarily see. But at the same time, depending, if I knew that these things were going to get harder and harder, the arcs were going to get more and more difficult to deal with, I would probably go with being able to see that, just for the simple fact that if I need to get out of a dangerous situation, from bad guys that are trying to kill me, then on principle, it's only fair. It is different for everybody. If the arc stayed at the same level, I probably wouldn't gain that. I wouldn't want that skill, just just cuz. Um, I would rather be able to know how to fight or wield a weapon of any sort, whether it be a gun, a spear, a knife, sword, whatever. To basically have a base of skills to protect myself and the people I love. Um, I thought that was really cool. There's another story that I was reading. Um, I was trying to find it earlier, and it's really irritating that I can't remember what the hell this stupid thing was called. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Oh, this is irritating. Why can't I remember what it was called? No, not that one. Although that one is a good one. No, not that one. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Although I do want to read that one. Basically, she comes back as a redhead every time. There are several like this. Um, God, why can't I remember? It's so irritating, and I really like the story. Oh, irritating. I really don't like it when I can't remember. It drives me insane. basically she's going through certain arcs to get things done. Um, and she goes through a certain system to basically get the female leads their lead back. Um, because the fake female lead has also reincarnated and is changing the story to get her happy ending. And she's supposed to fix it, otherwise, the world will collapse because these worlds cannot maintain if the male lead and the female lead don't live. Um, it'll collapse. Of course, some of them have multiple male leads, and the female lead gets to pick which of those male leads to be with to complete her story. Um, but she reincarnates as them, and there is a different system who sends someone else into it to complete different goals. Well, these two agents basically keep meeting up and end up liking each other. And he doesn't remember at all. His memory gets extremely fuzzy when it comes to when he goes to a different body. He gets like little flickers of it every now and then, kind of like deja vu, but he's never really certain as to who that person is. While she gets to maintain all of her memories from every different arc. And she goes through them without realizing that he is also an agent of another system that is basically doing the same thing as her. His system, though, seems more villain like, because mainly he's supposed to get rid of people, while her system is to maintain the world. So she's supposed to be like this savior saint type thing while he murders people. I don't know if that's all of his missions because they don't show his side of it, but you get bits and pieces from hearing the system talk to him, and it's just like, wow. I was like, they have two agents. Neither of the agents know of each other. He keeps falling for her. She could care less. Um, yeah, she always ends up meeting him, or they get stuck together or have to complete a goal together, but she doesn't know that he's from another system and he doesn't know that she is from a system. They just kind of happen to run across each other, and he ends up liking her, and she's just like, go away. She just wants to complete her job. Um, it's really irritating that I cannot remember what that was called. It's going to drive me nuts. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to talk about today. Oh, my mom was going to leave on the 4th of July. She was going to leave the 3rd, um, which means she wouldn't be here for the 4th. I'm not entirely sure as to what her plans are now, but she did say that she wasn't going to go until later. Um, she is getting quite upset with her family. them being the way that they are and not really being of much help. But she does, my grandma seems to be doing a bit better, although they haven't increased her meds at all, even though she's in pain. Um, the only two people that are looking out for her, one happens to be my mother, and the other happens to be someone who can't be there 24/7. Um, between his work and everything else, it is very difficult to just pop in and check on her. And anyone else who is close enough to check on her doesn't want to. Um, one of her children that is right across the street only checks on her on weekends. Um, another one who lives in South Carolina can only be there on weekends, and even then, complains that she has to be there for 3 days. Um, I'm not entirely sure of everybody else because it just seems like no one else is paying any attention except for my mother and him. So that is my update. I need to find some food because I am hungry. Um, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you again when I can. I am trying to find time to keep doing these. But no one really watches them anyway. They're just here for me. Um, basically just to get a thought process out of my head that won't leave me alone. Kind of like Bailey Sarian's murder mysteries. She's been thinking about it and needs to get it out of her head, so she talks about it. That's mainly my thing. Um, just need to talk about it. Don't really care about anything else. Yeah, okay. So I'll see you guys later. I hope you're all doing okay and have a good rest of the day. Bye.